So, welcome to RAB number 3. Now, it's going to have one big difference compared to the two that I've done previously, in that it is going to be filmed in multiple segments. And it's also going to have less products, so I can talk about them a little bit more. So yeah, today I got 2 packages from eBay. I knew that one thing was coming. I didn't know this other one was. And there was this thing, yeah, I don't know who backed this, but they did a pretty bad job with Kirkland tempura shrimp, which is hilarious. Apparently it was so bad it had to be repackaged, which is why it didn't arrive in time for RAB number 2. Now this package that I'm opening is actually pretty special, as I ordered this. Well, once I pull it out, it'll probably be more obvious to the keen-eyed among you, but I ordered this from overseas. It will test fire them now. So now I can easily say that I'm certifiably the best blower on the field. The Elite Blow Dart Blaster is already hard to find itself, but this sort of color swapped version was only made for like overseas markets, like the UK. Time for Kirkland Shrimp Blaster, which I already know what it is. And wow, that's way bigger than I thought it'd be. So this rare bird is called the Busby Laser Tech. We'll see if it works. Tight barrel fit. Huh, not bad, especially for 2005. So yeah, this blaster is more or less so rare that this is, I think, the 3rd time that I've ever seen one pop up on the internet outside of catalog pictures. The only person that I know that I know of that might have one of these, other than like Busby employees, is Mongoose Jake. That's actually a much more effective laser than anything else I've seen. Impressive and worth its own video, for sure. But yeah, odd little blaster. Got it for $5 plus shipping on eBay. And it is incredibly, extraordinarily, exceedingly rare. So a couple of new packages came in, but first, so I left this out of the last RAB and forgot about it since, but a rival Apollo, and specifically the harder to find Phantom Core version. It does work. It didn't come with this magazine, and I want to say it was $2 at thrift store. This is the Batman Batarang Blaster from 1990. These are kind of difficult to come across. They're actually the 2nd most common version of this shell, and this one was in very bad condition, so I got it for really cheap, and the entire front of this Batarang thing was ripped off, so I glued a mega head to it, and it works as well as it can. And as you can see, this piece is actually broken. If I pull it over to that side, so I have 2 O-rings stretched over it to keep it in place. Now onto some packages. I'll try to go from less exciting to more exciting, but we'll see. I don't actually know which of these is which. Okay, bigger package is more exciting, so we'll do the smaller one first. At the very least, the bigger package is, well, better packed. And here it is. This is way freaking bigger than I thought it would be, but it's a Batman Bat Taser thing. But it's Kenner. It's a reshell or a reskin of something released under the brand, I think the Backlash. And I'm sure you couldn't have guessed, it comes with this big goofy thing, which is, it's one of these regular long darts that a lot of these came with, but with these cool fins on it, so it's probably pretty rare. I got this for like 10 or 12 bucks, and I don't include shipping in those prices, of course. So pretty cool and pretty weird, so probably do a video on this. And contrary to my usual actions, this is actually so cheap that I am going to eventually unbox it, because those are so common. Now this next one, I'm actually pretty excited for, and it is actually quite rare. It's a pretty rare item, and it's not Nerf brand at all, but it's related to Nerf. And it's well packed for what it is. Now, admittedly, I paid more for this than I wanted to, but it completes a set of blasters that I've been trying to complete for years. And it's this thing. What is this? Well, it's Jurassic Park. Yeah, I bet you weren't expecting that. So this is called the Jurassic Park Pteranodon Launcher. This was made for the Jurassic Park 3 movie back in 2001. And as you can see, it looks identical to the battering blaster because it is. And it launches a dinosaur, apparently. I've never actually fired this, so... Okay, that one feels like crap. I'm gonna get a different one. Okay, reloaded with a more familiar face that isn't gonna break itself. It only slides on, like, halfway down the barrel, but maybe this will do better. No, it's just as bad. But man, after using this like once, no wonder these are so freaking rare. This is terrible. It's made out of like the cheapest, like it's almost styrofoam quality bad. And this launcher feels horrible. And it feels like the plastic quality actually went down from its previous iterations. And it has an advertised max range of 10 feet. How cool is that? So second to last thing for this episode, this is something that I actually noticed for an entirely different reason than I usually notice things. But it is something that appears to be incredibly rare. It's newish in package, kind of, but not really. It's actually a water gun, not a blaster. Usually I don't buy water guns, but this one has a really interesting function, and it parallels something from a dart blaster line from the same brand. So, new-ish in package, this is smaller than I thought it would be, is the Water Warrior's 5th Dimension, which is a very interesting concept. And you can definitely see why I say new-ish in package, because these are backwards. And hey, for $6, plus shipping, but for $6, super cheap, and totes worth the money. Okay, now you have 4 different blasters. You have the large blaster, you have the medium blaster, and the little tiny pistol small blasters, which are adorably small. And no, I didn't grow 17 feet in the course of one clip. These are very small. This large blaster is small, but not actually that uncomfortable. Probably because it's so lightweight. So now the front trigger operates both the side blasters, and the rear trigger operates the large blaster and the top blaster. Yeah, it's very small, but it's a really cool concept, and I definitely want to do a video on this. But we have the final package, which isn't really a flagship. Unlike my other episodes, there's not really a clear flagship with this one. And it'll probably actually be a while before I make another, because I will actually not be purchasing any other blasters until sometime in the summer. And if I do, it is for the explicit and sole purpose of reselling it. So if I actually thrift enough things or find a lot on Marketplace again, then I'll do a video on that, but otherwise, you're not going to see anything. However, I got this lot of 2 blasters, but I got these from the same guy, and it's a guy that I've never gotten anything from, but it's a website called blasterguy.com. But I checked out the website and had a couple of hard-to-find things that I really wanted. First up, a Spectre, but this is the quite rare Elite 2.0 Spectre. And if you don't know, there was one pack that was exclusive to Kohl's, and it was this with a barrel and a stock and a Warden. And I paid $4 for that, and I paid $50 for this thing. What is this? A lot of you probably already know. And this is something that I've wanted forever, but they never come up for sale, despite the fact that they're not exactly the hardest to find blaster in the world. And I have always wanted one, but it's a big blast. And I have zero intentions of modifying this thing. And I really hope I don't break the trigger. Yeah, so super freaking cool. I finally have a big blast, and it's in really good cosmetic shape, and it even has the sticker, which for some reason most of the BuzzBee blasters that I get don't. So that is awesome. I will not be modifying this. I got it both because I want to preserve it, and these are just super cool. And just iconic in the world of modding. But that's just going to about to do it for this episode of RAB, the third one and the last for a while. But regardless, hopefully you had a blast of a time watching this, and I shall see you in the next video.